Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, question tonight: who killed Lee Shen on Days of Our Lives? Now, Gabby is swearing up and down that she didn't do it. It was pretty obvious. It would be too obvious if it was Gabby. So, granted, it's not like the guy was really liked. We don't really know much about his past, what kind of other people he actually did business with or screwed over with. Hell, we just found out a couple weeks ago that he actually only dated two women. Two. Two. Let's all think about that. So yes, that's the question right now. As always, we do sit there and talk about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and Beautiful, and Young and the Restless. As you are coming in, make sure that you do hit the like button. We're gonna do roll call. Start this off. Cherry Ice Cream's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Cherry Ice Cream, I think, was the first person to say what's up. Nicole's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Blackmon's in the chat. How's it going? Lashanta's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Darby's in the chat. How's it going? Blackmon's in the chat. How you doing tonight? I just want to make sure I got you. Laura B's in the chat. How you doing tonight? As always, I sit there and I test audio, make sure that's good, and yeah, we're gonna get this started. Laura B's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Okay, cool. Audio's good. I can sit there and take this off now. Ida, how you doing tonight? Thank you for joining. I hope you had a great day. Hope you had a great day. So yeah, so we're going to be sitting to talk about all the shows. Um, I'll say this a couple of times. GH was trash. G- Today's episode of GH was absolutely effing terrible. Black Mom said GH had me crying today, but Steffi and Finn are hot. So let's sit there and wonder about those love scenes, just how um real that they are. I mean, I know that they're supposed to be whatever, but I'm just saying sometimes I feel like they ain't acting. Still have a cough. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Nicole. Darby says that's not much of a surprise since Lee was so infatuated with Gabby for so long. Yeah, I mean, it's just like he only dated two people. Two people, seriously? Monique, hey everyone, feeling a little bit better. Had about two hot dogs. Is that what I mean? Hot dogs? Lashanta says I'm peed off. Why everyone blaming Anna and that spawn was starting her. Dolly's in the chat. What's good? You know, I said this in my review that I felt like Nina should have went hard on Anna. Now, granted, Nina would have been absolutely wrong. It's not the first time Nina's actually been wrong about something, but Nina would have actually been wrong about it. But it would have actually had some sort of drama. I want to sit there and ask this question. I'll ask this now, and I'll ask this later on. Well, before I get started with that, so yes, 9 o'clock. I'm going to be sitting there putting out the Julia says, I love that Ray Sutton becomes Sherlock Holmes when it comes to helping his little sister. Monique said, hot hot toddies with tea, lemon, honey, and whiskey or brandy. Oh, we're going hard. We're going hard today. We going hard. We all right. Monique said, hot. I'm gonna be honest, Laura B. I said this in my What's Good Double C. I said this in my review, right? And I'll sit there and say this here. I can't take any more Anna's crying scenes. I can't do it. It is getting to a point where it's just annoying and nauseating. Yes, make sure that you do hit the like button because it really does help. We have 19 people in the chat. We got 8 likes. So if you are enjoying the stream, seriously hit the like button because it does help. Let's see if that's right there. Okay, it did. So yes. Okay, so I'll sit there and say this also in the live stream now. So I am still planning on doing a giveaway. I am planning on still doing a giveaway. I'm deciding between 8 and 7 people. It's going to be soap opera stuff. Um, yeah, I get it that she is distraught, but like after 2 days, I'm kind of over it. Kyrie's, I had to give Wendy her props today. Her acting was really good, and she's kind of pretty, nowhere near as pretty as Maxie Jones, though I stand by it 10 toes down. I think at this point, Kyrie's, we expect nothing less. Gemini's in the chat. Ambassador Sam's in the chat. Queen of the South is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Oh yeah, no, Dolly's not. She was definitely bringing it. Yeah, Monique. Oh, Ambassador Sam is the GOAT. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Victor Fire and Nate was just pure BS. Nobody says I still think there are only two innocent people in GH and in Charlotte because neither one had no choice. In Charlotte, wow, you are nicer than me. You are way nicer than me. Gemini says, okay, well, I was able to watch a few today. Yeah, GH was trash. There. And I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it as many times as I need to. Rachel, well, wasn't Nate the only one trying to send him away? Yeah, but he was trying to send him away because he thought it would actually help him. You know, he was sending him away because he actually thought it was going to help him. And Victor, being the butthurt man that he is, felt like that was an act of betrayal. He somehow got in his head, "Oh, you're trying to send me away. Oh, you're trying to take the company for yourself." No, 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 no. Sorry, Gary. I respect your opinion, and I respectfully agree to disagree on that one. No, it was BS. It was straight up BS. He got it in his tiny head that he was sending him. What's good, Dave? Thank you for joining. He was sending him away because he thought that he was trying to take over the company with Victoria. Like, really, bro? He's a doctor. Okay, he was your doctor for a very long time. I mean, Rachel, my whole thing is like, oh, and what's good, Ronnie Ron? Does he have pure intentions? I don't know. But, you know, all he said was, hey, listen, I'm sending you away because I think that this is going to be the best outcome for you to sit there and try to fight whatever this is. That was it. It was Victor that sat there and jumped to those conclusions. Anthony, how you doing tonight? We actually have a new person. See, hitting the like button really does help. It really does. It really does help. And it's funny too. And I was not there. Actually, tell you the truth, and yeah, Kyrie's actually did watch a review today on what you call it. But he's funny though. Even before I watched the review, I knew which way you was gonna go. And what's good, CW? I knew which way you were gonna go. Curry says Nate wants power. He can get his own company. Nate don't listen. He thinks he knows everything. Nate throws a tantrum. In tomorrow's episode, he said Victor did him a favor, so be it, and he flips. And but here's the thing, Curry. I don't blame him. I do not blame him. Okay, nobody wants to sit there and work for somebody who is paranoid and volatile and makes these rash ass decisions. What's good, Freddie? Rachel says now we're dealing with Victor lying about lying about lying. Yeah, nobody exactly. Nobody wants to deal with that. Sally also got screwed over by him. Sally also got screwed over by him. Oh yeah, he was trying to take over the Newmans. Yeah. Gemini says I mentioned last week that Eric was dying and seeing him for the blood. Yeah, I know he's definitely dying, Gemini. I know somebody in the chat that I'm not gonna sit there and say their name, but like, oh yeah, Carrie says he flips all on Victoria. Wow, okay, I don't know about that. That's a little out of pocket at that point. Um I gotta watch this episode tomorrow then. But yeah, no, Gemini. Somebody actually said that he's gonna be staying on the show. I'm like, dude's coughing up blood. What, are you just gonna find a miracle cure for him? And you know what? B&B will probably do some stupidest and actually do something like that. I feel because somebody was like, "Oh, he's going to actually live. You know, he's going to stay on the show." I'm like, you know, some sources I don't know. You want to hook me up with these sources? Kerry says, "I told you, Victor is a toxic control freak, but Nate is mad at Victoria." Yeah, I gotta sit there and find. Okay, I gotta see that. Um, like I said, his thing. I know people don't like Nate, right? So anytime Nate loses that life, he loses a job, he loses whatever, people are happy, right? Okay, that's fine. I can get behind that. But and what's good, Duan? I'm just looking at it was like, yo, it's that was crap. Ron says I almost threw up when you almost threw. Oh wow. Rachel says I need B&B to stop showing us the bloody handkerchief. Well, you know, apparently you're supposed to drive home that he really is dying. Tracy Steves is in the chat. What's good? Mrs. Jack Abbott, the one and only. How you doing tonight? Right, Mrs. Jack Abbott is in the chat. CW said, look, GH had me angry today. Why is everyone making excuses for Charlotte? Alexa said, Anna shot an innocent 15-year-old girl. Innocent 15-year-olds don't break into other people's apartments. Yes. And I agree with that. I agree with that. Gemini says Nate doesn't belong at Newman, so he got to go. Yeah, and you know what? To be honest, he can probably do better than to sit there and be beholden to some. I'm gonna be honest, some old man with that's on a power trip that loves to sit there and make all these erratic changes. I personally, I was like, yo, listen, I would never work for Victor. Just says, LOL, not my name, LOL, Baha'i. I love that, Jess. Jess is like, that's not my name. It's not my fault. Shin ain't goddamn it. And it still is your fault that I burnt that food. Justin says that's what Devon and Abby give for hurting chance not too long ago. Oh yeah. Um Gary says you need to give her a different name. Jack Abbott is old and crusty. She ain't misses nothing. And give her someone younger and hide her like Jessica. I don't know, Kyrie. I've been calling her that for so long. It'd be kind of weird to call her anything else. Darby says you burnt your dinner, Albert. No, well, I burnt my dinner because of Jess. And the sooner that she takes responsibility for that, um, the better. So, how you doing tonight, Andrea? Andrea, I'm gonna get your name right at some point. So she says, Albert, when you're going to cook again? Oof. I'm gonna have to look up a good recipe and actually know what I'm doing this time before I actually make something else. But I will make something else. Random. Hey, Albert, Vivian set up Gabby. Oh, okay. I didn't think about that. Jessica says no one calls Jesse. Tracy says you can always do a soup and sandwich. Hmm. Freddie says I'm glad this week Anna's gonna slap the piss out of Valentine for not telling her. Ooh, okay, good. Good, Freddie. Good. No one calls me Jesse. Okay. Kyrie said, God willing, Albert never steps anywhere near a stove again. That's not true. And you know that was Jess's fault. Derby says more likely when you are going to cement food. Okay, all right. It was good seeing you, Randall. Ron said they should switch Jerry with this funny character because I can't take her seriously. I do. You know, it's funny, Ron. I was meant to think about when I was watching Days of Our Lives. I was like, I wonder what Ron is sitting there thinking about Jerry. Gemini says Albert will redeem himself regarding. Yeah, I definitely will. I definitely will. Stop it, Jess. Jess, you gonna be a good girl tonight, or you gonna be a bad girl tonight? Which way are we going? And yes, I am. I actually am. I actually am gonna redeem myself. It only happened because of Jess. Only happened because of Jess. Lashanta said Dante found that paint in Charlotte's backpack. Yeah, so now he knows. Derby says I came up. Nobody until I came into the picture. Rachel says, "What if Nate ends up teaming up with Tucker, two people with a chip?" I would be so down for that, Rachel. I would be so down for that. Then they could sit there and just, I don't know, maybe take over Newman or something. Kerry says, "Which one of my reviews did you watch? You mentioned on, oh, the one today. We were talking about how Nate got fired by Victor. Yeah, you're the Young and Restless one. I watched that one today. I watched a little bit before I actually started. Before I came on, that was like I was like, all right. I was like, all right, we doing this tonight. Like, okay, that's what was happening when I was in the chat because I was like, all right, we gotta talk about this, Kyrie's. Freddie says, I understand Anna's feeling bad for shooting a child. She thought it was a random with a looked like a weapon. It was self defense. I get that too. I can't sit there and I can't do the constant crying scenes. Like it's been 2 days of this, and I can't imagine going through any more than 2 days of her ugly crying. Like I can't do it. But I'm glad everyone else actually enjoyed her performance. That was cool. Um, bless your hearts. Gemini says Nate and Tucker could take over Chancellor. Too bad they can't take over Newman. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Victor. He is the great Victor Newman, but that dude pissed me off today. Though. What's good, Valerie? Thank you for joining. Kerry says because I reviewed Days of Our today as well, I had to give Wendy her props. That was painful. You know I don't like her. No, no, I props to you for that. Just says, damn, not the lack of empathy. Yeah, because after 2 days, I was kind of over it. I was kind of over it. I'm gonna be honest. Tracy says, I would not the blood. I can't do it. I can't. And Jess, you know how militant I can be. And same thing, Tracy, and everyone else in the chat. You know how militant I can be. Monique says Steffi Punch Sheila May Finn had the best. He gave Sheila a black eye. Ron, how you feel about Steffi giving Sheila a black eye? Gemini says no one can take Newman. Victor made sure of that. Only born Newmans can take over. I don't know. Maybe you could sit there and bankrupt them or something. I don't know. I just, I was so annoyed with that scene. The thing is, yeah. Listen, I have nothing against the actress, Jess. Like, props to her. She still got it. She's been doing it for a while, so I expect nothing less. Duane is Team Steffi, and Duane, I'm Team Eric. You already know. Derby says Nate was a small fish who was surrounded by a whole school of sharks known as the Newman family. Gemini, it's funny. It's funny that you say that because I saw somebody else in the comment section that said something very similar. Very, very, very similar. Here's the thing. I was actually watching Ball and the Beautiful when I was in the supermarket shopping. I was in the supermarket shopping and I was watching the Ball and the Beautiful because I knew that I didn't have a lot of time today. So I had to watch every soap opera while I could. I was in the kitchen, I was cooking, and I was watching Days of Our Lives. Jonathan was good. Kurt says, he was gonna throw Matt on the bus. That's what you wanted. That's what you wanted happen. Hmm? Johnson says, well, EJ had the last. Oh, Jonathan, it was great. Honestly, tell you, Jonathan, out of all the four soap opera endings, Days was the best one. Days was the effing best one. Rachel said watching some of the really good acting is what I enjoy, even if I'm not crazy about the storyline, it still catches my attention. Oh, that's cool. Here's the thing, Jonathan. Paulina Price is an idiot. You practically hired the devil at that point. I was too, Caris. I was too. Freddie says I was like, hold the F up. Is Laura effing kidding me? She said to ask me I grew to love you and I'll pay your rent at Kelly's. I'm like, did Laura fall and hit her head? Like like Humpty Dumpty. One says, I don't know if Eric is dying. I do think he's being poisoned. You think he's being poisoned? Hmm. Somebody said, did you say that yesterday, Duane? I know somebody else might have said that. Johnson says I was sure Napoleon was going to hire Bell. Yeah, that was not going to happen. That was not going to happen. But Jonathan, she pretty much hired the devil at that point. She decided to fire Melinda Trask but you hired the effing devil. Yeah, no, Pauline is a genius at this point. Darby says, how does Drew get forgiveness for being brainwashed by Victor, and Charlotte doesn't get the same forgiveness for being brainwashed by her grandfather? Yeah, Darby, I don't do forgiveness, but for the rest of the chat, you know, by a rival fashion house. That's a good question. That's a good question. Gemini said this is why Abby opened her restaurant and managed her business and stay away from all of the family business. Yes. Abby's clearly the smart one. It's crazy. She's an Abbott and she's also a Newman. Harry says, but if that devil makes Gabby rot in jail, I'm here for every second of it. This is the definition of karma hitting her, and yes, her greed of screwing. Yes. You know what? Here's the thing, Currys. I 100% agree with that. Lashanta says, I don't like EJ. He's crooked, but good for Gabby. Duane says, I don't think Donna is poisoning Eric. I just say it, I think, is Eric's doctor. Hmm. Johnson says Nat and EJ is the last person that A would hire. Yeah. Yes. That's why she fired Melinda. I was like, boy, that was a trash move. You did that based off emotions. This is what you're doing now. You moving business based off emotions. You hired the devil because you didn't like Melinda. Okay, when he winds up, here's the thing: when Paulina wound up being screwed over, I'm going to laugh my ass off. Johnson says, "I bet Stephanie and Gabby are getting." Oh, yes, Jonathan. I sat there. I was like, "Yo, Gabby, where's that smile? Go on, Gabs. Where's that smile at? Where's that little cocky ass attitude that you had not that long ago?" She's all in tears and everything like that afterwards. I'm like, boo, F your tears. Lorby says, I forgive Charlotte, but I wish she needs to take some responsibility. Well, that's very sweet of you. And I'm glad that you actually have more compassion than me. Carrie says justice for for Dimitri too. Gemini says Eric is sick. His doctor is not doing anything to him. Eric is no spring chicken. Yeah, I don't understand where the wild theories are coming from. Melly Mel, my heart queen. Rachel says at this point it seems like Charlotte was influenced but not thoroughly brainwashed. She knew what she was doing was wrong, even if supposedly for a good reason. Yes. I don't feel like she was brainwashed. Harry says now Rafe is watching his little sister rot while his sister lied on my Dimitri, made him a fugitive. He never got a chance to shoot that woman or that man. Gemini says Charlotte's going to be worse when she finds out what Anna did to her. She's going to be on 10. Double C says Gabby's getting her karma for all the ish she's done. Even be even be that little girl's Rachel. That's what I said double C. I was like, yo, I'm enjoying it. Johnson says I bet Kristen will also be happy about Gabby's situation. And as she should. You did. You did, Mel. You did. And it's funny too, because I was writing my notes. I thought about you. And I automatically put DA before they actually said it. Why is this? Okay. Now CW has a really good point. CW is like in the end, Charlotte hated Victor so much. So why she would believe. Okay, CW says in the end, Charlotte hated Victor so. Why she was believing what he said in the letter is beyond me. I wish I could feel sorry for her, but I don't. Militant. I like it. Lashanta says, I can't stand Nina now. Now she knows she erased that security footage. She thinks it's gone. Yep. Gemini says Spencer did the same thing to Ava when he came to town. Then these cast signs has attachment issues for real. Dory says Gabby brought up Ariana when she was caught with a hypocrite. It's not even just a hypocrite. It's like Ari is I mean, yeah, her name, I forgot her name. Anyway, that girl is an afterthought. Let's be honest. Gabby's daughter is an afterthought. Johnson says my theory is that Lee's father is the one who texted Gabby after accidentally stabbing Lee to lure her over and have her take the fall. I don't know how I feel if that was true. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how I feel if that was true. Jess says it would have been great to see Nina reaction to Anna telling her she shot Charlotte. I don't know. They cut it out. Yeah, and Jess, I said the same thing. It would have made for good drama. It would have made for good drama. I need to sit there and ask people in the chat. Did anyone actually enjoy General Hospital today? I'm just gonna be real. Did anyone actually enjoy General Hospital today? Duan says, same here. I wish I could feel sorry for Charlotte, but I feel for Anna. Oh, also 9 o'clock or in an hour, give or take. I'm going to be taking video calls. So if you want to come through, I'm going to put the link up there so people can come through. Johnson says Days was better than GH. Yes, it was. It wasn't even close, Jonathan. It was pretty much a blowout at that point. It wasn't just better. It was much better. Just as I like did today. Cherry Ice Cream said, "Not really. GH was black." Yeah, just said I liked it today because I thought Fiona did a good job with her scenes. Bless your heart. Bless your heart, my child. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Oh yeah, thank you, dog. Yes, 15 minutes from now. Yes. Lashanta said I enjoyed it every day. Okay, I feel like I need to have a stronger drink. I feel like at this point with that comment, I need to have a stronger drink. So Lashanta said that she enjoys it every day. I don't know what it was to actually enjoy about it. So I would definitely love to hear why you enjoyed it every day. Gemini says I enjoyed the scenes between Anna and Sunny. It reminded me of Sunny and Robin talk. Wow. Yeah. Yes. Let's finish. Yeah. Yeah. Ambassador Sam. It's time. It's time. It's time. Mm-hmm. Nicole said Jay sucked today. Thank you. Thank you. Jesus Christ, Nicole. Thank you. Johnson says, "What do you think Asia would do with Sloan when the truth comes? Get her disbarred." Jonathan, he's going to get her to lose her damn job. That's the first thing he's going to do. Double C said Curtis scene was the filler. I felt like the whole episode was a damn filler. Ambassador Sam Bostic, Mr. Bostic's always prepared. Yeah, I Usually, Ambassador Sam, if I have alcohol, it's on standby. CW said I did not. I feel like Hannah was being unfair, railroaded. I'm sorry, but Charlotte always had those bad tendencies, and I agree. Yeah, Jonathan, I feel like he's going. I feel like he's going to make her lose her license. Here's the Logan sisters suck blood like vampires every day. Damn Logans. Aries, they're just the worst, right? Just the absolute effing worst. All right. So if you are not a member, hit the pin comment, hit the pin comment, and become a member. Actually, it's a lot of fun. You have a lot of fun on the weekends, and you should definitely join. Pretty much a party. Now we do actually have a good time. Lobby, if I don't say with my fists, exactly hashtag those damn Logans. Yes. Rachel says, and what is Brooke Logan's job? She works there. Isn't she like a chemist or something like that? She's supposed to be like smart with. Lashanta says Nina just keeps digging that hole. Oh yeah, she's digging it all right. The Logans. Carrie says, imagine the day when we get some of those diehard Logan fans, Facebook fans to join. Oh, it's gonna be an interesting time, my friend. It's gonna be an interesting time, Carrie. Kirby says, so you're going to stereotype a 15-year-old girl because she comes from a family of human monsters. Okay. I'm pretty sure that was directed at someone else. Oof. Um, Curry said, just know far in advance, I'm not backing down. That's right, LaShawn, the dollar bill's back. Dollar bill, the one and only. Don Diamond. Duan says, Albert, don't you love to? Absolutely. Absolutely, Duan. Donna Logan is a Donna Logan is a I was just gonna say Donna Logan is a 9.5. Donna Logan is 9.5. You absolutely effing right. I just like to shake my fist every time I talk about those Logan stuff. Ja- mm. Jackie P's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Johnson says EJ would probably do the same thing to Melinda Trask. Yeah, yeah. I'm totally. Here's the thing. I'm totally cool with that. I'm totally cool with both of them getting in. Mel says Robert Wendy made it crystal clear to Linda that her and Gabby. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she was on it today. Well, all right. Well, that's your opinion. Go on. I agree to disagree. Darby says Adana is an eight. Is Adana eight is a great score. Kerry says I'm talking those hardcore Brooke fans, Steffi and Taylor haters coming in the string. Let the battle begin. Kerry says Maxie Jones be looking a little better than Donna. See, we okay. Kyrie, you're my guy. All right. When you start saying things like that, it's just like, all right, bro. All right. Maybe if I drink this, maybe that may start to make sense. Maybe that sentence will actually make sense. Rachel says, okay, now that one thing I do not like about General Hospital, if I never hear Papa again. Uh, listen, I'm glad that people actually saw just that they need to put Charlotte in Shady Brook. Yep, Shady Brook, Bellevue. Curry says, I think Curry is messing with. Oh no, I think he definitely. Well, Laura B. Part of me wants to hope that he is. And I mean, dead ass. There's parts of me wants. Oh, Rachel or Ferncliff, yes. Freddie says Valentine's very bad parenting lately. We all saw where Charlotte ended up with a gunshot. Oh, Bellevue. Oh, yeah, that's Days of Our Lives. Shady Brook is General Hospital. Bellevue is Days of Our Lives. So it's pretty much where you send all the crazy people. That's all you need to know. All you need to know is that they send all the crazy people on that show on they send them there. See, just when you actually start watching Days of Our Lives, you understand that. You really need to start watching Days of Our Lives because just as I was confused, I'm like, what the f is a baby? Bellevue. Well, when you watch Days of Our Lives, you understand because General Hospital ain't doing shit. It's not doing a damn thing. Kerry says Maxie is much more vibrant and livelier than Donna ever was. You know, Tyrese, I think that you're actually being serious, and that's all sorts of whatever that is. Lorby said, yeah, Valentine messed up really. He has a father. Ron says, then Lulu and her mom would be off screen. Yeah, Dewan. Valentine should have told Anna. That's his fault. That's his fault. That's all about taking accountability for your actions. Like a certain Mrs. Someone should start taking accountability for their actions. Curry says, I can't mess with the truth. Maxie is generally gorgeous. She can give Brooke a run. Yeah, I can even finish the rest of that sentence, bro. Rachel says, Mr. Clark trying to be Mr. Jones. Exactly. Is that exactly on Laura Beach? This person knows who I'm talking about, who needs to start taking some accountability for their actions. Mel said Robert Lilly is was so insecure and jealous when she saw Heather and Lucy surprising. I mean, yes, it's human. Um, it is something she should probably sit there and talk to Daniel about, but she won't. She'll do what a lot of other people do: bury their feelings, start having resentment, because that's always the appropriate thing to do. Ambassador Sam, I agree. B&B character Donna Logan is attractive, played by an actress over age 50. Oh yeah, no, she's yo, that woman's a dime. That woman's a dime. Freddie said Laura is known to be like some guardian angel to a lot of people, but to Esme, I wouldn't let that heifer off the hook. She's still the same person who framed Trina and made that tape of, yep, yeah, she did. My whole thing is like, I just wish I knew what they were doing with Esme. I wish I knew what they were doing with Esme because this good girl, no memory BS ain't working. It ain't working. They need to sit there and do something. They need to fix it. I need bad girl Esme back. not whatever this BS is. Who the hell actually thought that making Esme good was a good idea? Some people need some pink slips and are just to be fired. That's right, Duan. That's what I said. CW says, I'm glad Gregory responded the way he did to Alexa's remark about Anna shooting an innocent 15-year-old. I was like, oh, that's. Mel says, I'm really happy that Devon Lilly went because Meme wants to. I mean, yes, because I feel like don't holding grudges doesn't do you good in the long run. It really doesn't. Perry says Rachel saying, I'm trying to marry Maxie. I will be honored, but I have to pass. There's Willow Dimitri would be much more compatible. Barbie says I thought it was ironic that Asma said that she liked Trina. I wish they knew what the hell they were actually doing with Esme. I miss. Yeah, well, you know what, Lashanta, she's a hot one. So, to tell you the truth, all the brains in the world sometimes may not be enough for certain men. So, and that's the truth of the matter. All the brains in the world sometimes may not be a damn thing because men are visual. Darby says, I don't like how Heather and Lucy played Daniel today into getting them houses. Daniel is only responsible for housing just Lucy, not his ex. Carrie says, Donna F. Eric's brains out. Is that, like I said, men are visual, okay? Like I said, CW, men are visual. That's the bottom line. Carrie says, Maxie passed a special application to look as good as, bro. See, this is, here's the thing. I sit there and I say that sometimes when DC, which I got a text, um, okay, we can switch this up. That DC will be trolling sometimes. And now I'm just looking at it like I feel like that's what Kyrie is doing. Kyrie started writing things like that. I was like, all right, Maxie is a Maxie is a look but can't touch. Rachel says, Albert, who is your favorite characters on each soap? Um, Sunny on GH, EJ, what's good, Spider Quake? EJ on Days of Our Lives. B&B, I would sit there and give it to B&B. I would give it to Deacon, and yeah. So B&B is Deacon. GH is Sunny. Days is EJ. I don't know about what's good, Spider Quake. I don't know about Y&R. Like, part of me wants to sit there and say, um, part of me wants to sit there and say Victor, but Victor be doing some stuff sometimes that I just don't understand. I feel like he's I don't know. I don't think I actually have one on Y&R. It was good, Alyssa. Those are my top three. Though. You know what? I would sit there and say old school Jack Abbott, old school '90s '80s Jack Abbott. That was my favorite character. No, Darby. Her name is Mrs. Jack Abbott. We not changing nicknames. Yeah. Kyrie's Boomer Boss. That is Jessica's new nickname, Mrs. Hoffman, because she is cuffing Evan, aka Dex, the man that you got starstruck by. Um. Well, her name is Mrs. Jack Abbott. So let's just get that right. And I actually told you that was only for a hot minute. I actually told you that wasn't as long as people actually thought it was. Also, Kyrie, I appreciate you being a member for 10 months. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you, Kyrie. No, 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 no. I won't have it. I will not have it, Spider Quake. Absolutely effing not. I'm telling you to get it right. No, you get it right. F out of here. Alyssa says Victor is so vicious. Yo, that dude's a dick. I mean, I like Victor. Eh, all right, screw it. I guess I gotta sit there and say Victor. I guess I would sit there and say Victor's my favorite character, even though he's being a dick right now. Carrie says you keep calling her Mrs. Jack Abbott. I'll start calling you Mr. Albert Hastings. Hey, that's fine. I'm cool with that. You can call me. You can call me Mr. Albert Hastings. She's still gonna be called Mrs. Jack Abbott. Hey, listen, Carrie. I didn't give her that nickname. DC did. I'm just running with it. Alyssa, I think Lee hired someone to murder him just to frame Gabby for his murder. You know, it's funny, Alyssa. I could have swore somebody else actually said something very similar. I mean, that's extreme. That, here's the thing, Alyssa. That takes a certain. I mean, I feel like Gabby can probably invoke that level of hatred. Oh, Curry says, "Well, DC's not here to take the blame." uh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. That reminds me, I gotta sit there and text DC and see how he's doing. I gotta do that. I haven't. If this effing thing does not move. Moses, Albert, do you have any idea who Victor is going to fire for being a Nate? He's gonna be firing Nate because he's Victor Newman and well he's an erratic dick. I'm not even gonna sit there and sugarcoat any of this tonight. I'm really not. He's an erratic dick. There we go. All right, so it's that time. Yes, that is very true, Alyssa. So it's that time. Oh, let me make sure I find this comment. So put the link. So put the link in the pinned comment. If you want to come through, say your piece about the show, whatever the show is. We'll sit there and talk about it. And yeah, That's right. That's right, Alyssa. You know it. Kyrie says Victor has always been an erratic jackass bully. I'm happy Nate got his just deserved. Alyssa, I was stream, but I can't because I'm at my parents' house. Okay. Well, here's the thing, Alyssa. Next time that you want to come through, you're more than welcome to come through, Alyssa. Seriously. I would definitely love to have you the next time you can come through. Rachel says hot and spicy making its appearance. Yep, that's right. Hot and spicy. Oh, there we go. Whoever said, don't you remember DC thinks that Nate is a good man? Well, a good man got fired today. Damn. Spyquick says, Queen Mel, if you're comfortable answering, how old are you? I feel like I should be taking a drink right now. Oh, no. Nope, nope. Stronger. There we go. Yeah. Bliss said, yeah, I know Victor may be plotting against his own kids, but the fire Nate is messed up. Yeah. See, Alyssa, thank you. Thank you, Alyssa. Finally, someone agrees with me. CW says Nate is a backstabbing tool. I'm glad he got fired. Good. Just says LOL, and so does Spider Quick, aka Mrs. Jack Abbott. Kyrie says, where's Elena today is her victory. She knew this day was coming. That's Spider Quick. I think you kind of you got to flip that around. You gotta flip that sentence around. Freddie says Michael needs to sit his SpongeBob head ass down, trying to blackmail a grown ass woman by. So you're more team Nina, right? More team Nina, right? We can talk about Nina. We can talk about Nina. Um, Michael just shows a level of just being controlling, and hmm. Carrie says, "Let's get it right." Nina got Albert under control. Okay, all right. I can agree with that, Kyrie. All right, we're Team Nina tonight. Okay. All right. All right, Freddie. Okay. All right, so let's do roll call. What team are we on? Team Nina or Team Carly? That's the question for the GH fans. Team Nina or Team Carly? Let's go. It says, but tomorrow is a skip day. I'm skipping GH. So Spider Quake is Team Nina. Alyssa is Team Nina. Harry says Nina runs Albert Lake Church on Sunday. Nina looks good in certain situations, okay? Nina looks good in certain situations. I'll say that much. Okay, Cherry Ice Cream is Team Carly. Rachel is Team Carly. Jackie P is Team Carly. Nicole is Team Carly. Oh my god. You know what? I'm gonna put this Larby is neither. Okay, so Larby is Switzerland. I'm gonna put this in a poll question. I'm gonna put this in a poll question tomorrow because I'm very curious. CW says Team now that both are the same in my book. Ooh, both are the same in my book. I see we didn't really get that age answer, did we? kind of curious about that myself, but okay. So Darby is choosing Switzerland. Harry says the thing, this Nina thing won't end until I get Cindy Watchos on this stream with us, which will make it happen. Which will happen. I'll make sure of it as long as I'm breathing. That would be hell of interesting. That would be hell of interesting. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let me actually get a drink to this. I want to drink to this before I actually read this sentence. Hold on. Uh, hold on. Spyquake says, Alyssa, yesterday I was wishing Sabrina was on and not Carly and Drew. You're reading this, right? We all reading this. This isn't me like being drunk or anything. We all reading this shit, right? Alyssa, I had to sit there and make sure that everyone read the same thing that I read. Like I was not drunk when I was reading it. W6 was, but who's Team Nina? Rachel says, but even if I like a character, I can still acknowledge where they do something inappropriate. Like Carly really did commit insider trading. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She did. She did. And here's the thing: what Nina did was Nina ratted out Carly because Nina don't f with Carly, and I'm cool with that. Here it says it's going to happen. I'll arrange it. Then message you on Messenger. It will be me, you, and Cynthia on a member stream one day. That's right. No one gets that main event show for free. Absolutely. See, this is one of the many reasons why I mess with Kyrie's. One of the reasons why I mess with Kyrie's. Well, said both Carly and Drew and Liz and Finn together makes me cringe. Freddie says Carly really should have been in prison. Carly should have really been in prison. Hmm. Mm-mm. Ambassador says Team Carly, but I like Nina. Okay. And Kyrie says I'm so serious too. No, I believe you. I Kyrie's listen. When you sit there and you say something, I generally believe you. You do not F around. Do you like what I see? Said, right? I know you meant said. You know, maybe I should. Hmm. Freddie says Carly and her privilege makes me sick. Hmm. Just that was weird. Well, what did I read that was wrong? I felt like it was right. Yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. I don't know. No, I didn't actually watch it tomorrow. I didn't watch tomorrow's episode yet. So, Jackie B says, "Why is everyone shocked that Carly broke the law? She was married to Sonny for years. Nina can't use that excuse with Sonny. She better just stick to admitting it was revenge." See, and I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with revenge. See, that's my whole thing. I never actually had a problem with Nina as far as her turning in Carly. I just wanted her to just have the have the boobs to sit there and say it. Ambassador says, "How everyone take a drink." I want her to sit there and own it. Melissa can't wait until Anna finds out that Valentine knew about Charlotte being a culprit soon. Anna will slap Valentine in the previews. Oh yeah, I forgot that they actually have a whole have the what? I think it's a drink. Last that oh, I like the new picture. I like the new picture, my friend. Billy says I'm not sure why it's a big deal that Nina admitted that it was revenge. Her admitting it was for revenge isn't going to undo it. Yeah, I just my whole thing, Dolly, I want her to admit that's why she did it. You know? Like I would just rather her just sit there and say, you know what, I did it and what? What are you gonna do about it? Yeah, I did it. That's why I said I was like, I like the new picture last day. Freddie says so everyone can enable and justify Carly's BS, but everyone comes at Nina with pitchforks all the time. Okay, bye, whatever. Yeah, you're definitely. I can definitely see you're much more than Nina on Nina's side. CW says I never liked Nina. She always made me sick, especially when she was married to Valentine and excused Charlotte's bad behavior. That part of the reason why Charlotte where she is now, and that I will sit there and say and I agree with. That was the one. I actually tell you that was the catalyst for why I started doing these reviews. One of the reasons is because she sat there and she made excuses for Charlotte's behavior. Bullying is okay. The hell is wrong with you? Like that? Yeah, I wouldn't sit there and say it's solely. I wouldn't sit there and say it's solely responsible. Or, but it. Here's the thing, Alyssa. It wasn't. It wasn't a good look. It was not a good look. Because even Valentine felt like Charlotte was going a little bit too far, and Nina was like, "No, she's a strong woman. She's just a strong woman. Men don't like strong women, or some BS that she said. That's something that I couldn't get past. Rachel says, I wonder if fans could craft their own soap from scratch with the actors, characters, and storylines like they like. What would it be like? Chaos. It will be exactly like chaos. But here's the thing, CW. By how much? Because at the end of the day, Nina is not her parent. Valentina is. Nina didn't. Nina didn't help the behavior, but Nina isn't her parent. Valentina is. Billy says Nina and Carly hate each other. Carly's biggest beef with Nina is that she doesn't admit stuff. So what incentive does Nina have to admit anything to make Carly feel better? And Jess says so it doesn't blow up in her face, totally. Last day said I would thank you. I felt the other picture was good, however, it was time for a change. Wrestling is something I love, so I wanted to represent that. That's what's up. Let's say, yeah, maybe CW, but she isn't mostly to blame because she isn't Charlotte's mother. And yeah, I was just gonna sit there and say that. Ambassador Sam says G, the character of Carly, is a ride or die woman. That's true. Just says, but Nina keeping those secrets that she did, cause all the hate she is getting will receive. I said this before, and I'll sit there and say this again. The issue with Nina is that when she did it, she was reckless, right? She wanted to expose Carly, but the backlash is going to be much more than what she's getting. than whatever price that she was trying to get. That's the issue. Because she's going to lose people. It may not be long term, but she's going to lose people. She's going to lose Willow. She's going to lose access to her grandchildren. She's going to lose Sunny. If she owned it and just say, you know what, let the chips fall where they may, I'm going to have a relationship with my daughter or not, that I would have been cool with it. That I would have been cool with. That's the bottom line. But what she's doing right now is going to, like Jess said, is going to blow up in her face. And she knew it was going to blow up in her face because she tried to call Martin the next day to try to reverse it. So that's something I've been saying for a while. I would get behind. Here's the thing. I would get behind Nina's revenge on Carly 100% if she just owned it. You know, but the keeping secrets, the lying, the oh my goodness, I'm gonna get caught, I'm gonna lose everything. That's the issue for me. That's the issue for me. But I understand the need for revenge. That's why I'm not totally upset with Nina. Reggie says, I didn't care for Drew, tall neck, giraffe head. As seen today, his first stop should have been Scout in the first place instead of his precious Carly. Though says a lot of the Nina hate, at least from the character, has been a slow escalation. Lastly, says Nina's going to lose everything in her life and it's her own fault. It is. Here's the thing. Again, last day, I wish you would own it. Own it, let the chips fall they may, and see what happens. Then I wouldn't sit there and be so harsh on Nina at this point. Jackie B says I like Nina with Valentina Charlotte. Yeah, she was kind of bad for Charlotte to be honest, especially in the earlier stages. Melissa Gabby's getting what's coming to her because she's suffering. She and Steph are getting karma for playing Brady, Kristen, Lee. Yep, and I 100% agree with that. I 100%. That's why I'm that's why I laughed at her ass. Jay Blue says, "Hey y'all, just finished watching JHL laugh so hard at Nina telling Valentin they don't need to talk about the tape. I guess she doesn't want any of that to blame." Yeah, I forgot Jay Blue. It comes out on Hulu at 8 o'clock when they decide they want to put it on Hulu at 8 o'clock. Billy says even when Nina kept Sunny from Carly, she was exposed. She apologized. That wasn't enough. Sunny even left her a crying heap on the floor, and that wasn't enough. But Dolly, if you actually want to sit there and come on tonight, the link is in the pin comment. That goes for anyone else. You want to come on tonight? Come through. And Jess says, "Hell no, it wouldn't be enough." I guess to some extent, yeah, you can apologize, but that doesn't mean that somebody actually has to forgive you. You know, you can apologize, but that does not mean that somebody else actually has to forgive you. I remember when Nina told Charlotte to apologize to Aiden. And then Nina was like, well, Charlotte apologized. I'm like, so? Aiden doesn't have to sit there and accept that from Charlotte. Charlotte was bullying Aiden, and Nina was like, well, she apologized. So effing what? I don't owe you a thank you or anything like that. Don't sit there and try to act like you did me some sort of big favor. Just saying. Just saying. Hmm. All right, we have our first person. Nicole, how you doing?
Hi.
Hi. All right, we have our first person. Nicole, how you doing?
Good. Hi.
Hi. All right, we have our first person. What's your comment about the shows?
Pizza.
About the shows. Yes, Darby. Yeah, double C. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. So, what's your comment? You have a comment or a question or anything? Darby. Yeah, double C. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. So, what's your comment? You have a comment or a question or anything? Darby. Yeah, double C. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. So, yeah, I'm not really understand what you're saying. Yeah, Rachel says, "How can you say G sucks? It's the best show." Are we watching the same show? Yeah. Rachel says, "How can you say G sucks? It's the best show." Are we watching? Okay. Bye, Nicole. Rachel says she says G sucks. I mean, I said the same thing though. Listen, okay. Let's put it this way. GH is sucking right now. I don't think that GH sucks as a show. I just think that GH sucks right now because it could be better. Listen, I don't take it. I don't. When I criticize the show, I don't do it lightly. Now, Alyssa says it does compared to the other. Yeah, yesterday, at least today, at least today. I felt like it was in last. Alyssa, it does, Abby, but I don't think the actual. No, I don't. No, I don't think that it actually sucks. Yeah, let's be very clear. I think it hasn't been doing as well as it should. I don't think that the show sucks. So let's just yeah. Freddie says I want to make it clear that I don't like Nina. Only reason I defend her is this is the last time because I wish she would just tell Michael to kiss her blank and go straight to hell. Yeah, one person did, but I didn't. I couldn't really understand him, Jonathan. Duan says Albert Hayes, GH. Uh, Nicole. I couldn't understand what they were saying though. Robert hates GH. Um, you are trolling, right? I've been watching the show since well for 20 something years. So I'm gonna assume that you're trolling at this point. And yes, thank you, Nicole, for coming on. So yeah, if anyone else wants to sit there and come on. Mel says, I think the reason that Dimitri and Leo steal Nicole's baby and give it to Sloan is to get them out. There's legal mess there. Okay. Jimenez says Albert doesn't hate GH. He does appreciate being bored. Exactly. I don't appreciate being bored. Yes. Alyssa, LOL, just because Albert says she sucks right now, that doesn't mean he really means that entire show. Thank you, Alyssa. Jesus Christ. Thank you for coming on, Alyssa. Yeah, I just my whole thing is when I criticize his show, I'm not just doing it from just a critic's point. Like I'm also a fan of the show as well. And so it's in some ways it would actually make it a little bit more harder to be more harsh on the show. But I'm harsh on it because yeah, I figured that, do I? But I'm harsh on the show because I've seen what GH can do. That's the thing. I've seen what GH can do. No, I get that, Nicole. No, thank you for just jumping on for a little bit. Freddie says, Albert, you also have to understand she is, I don't want to say it not being mean or anything, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I get you, Freddie. Dolly says, GH is just having a little bit of a slump. Yeah. What's good, Big Nate? Um, Everything else was good. GH was in last place, we'll say. It was in last place. It's a little bit different when you're sitting up there reviewing it, but you're also a fan of the show. Rachel says, I feel like when I watch B&B, there's not enough depth or nuance to the acting or the characters. Like, it's mad, sad, and bad. Weiner has a bit more action than B. You know, you are right about that. And part of me wants to sit there and be like, well, you know, B&B is only 18 minutes long, but I feel like even that's not an excuse. Yeah, no, Nicole, no, you tried. So I appreciate you coming on. Double C said constructive criticism isn't hating. Yeah, it's not. And you know, Double C, I'm glad you actually do know the difference because some people. J Blue says, anyone having issues writing in the comment section for Albert Stage Review? My keyboards keep freezing and I have to close YouTube and restarting my phone is very frustrating. Wow. I'm sorry actually having issues with that. That's so weird. Rachel says, alert Albert. Albert just saying I was right about something. No, that's cool. Alyssa GH may be the most popular soap on social media, but it's the last in the ratings. But you know, it's really crazy, Alyssa. It may be the last in the ratings, but when it comes to my views, it's the most viewed watch out of all my other reviews. That's the thing. It's the last in the ratings, and it gets the most views. All right, and we got Jonathan next.
Hey, how are you?
It's good, Jonathan. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So, I want to talk to you more about my theory of Lee's murder and how his father possibly did it.
All right.
So, all right. So here's what I see happening. So I think it's possible that while Lee was still in his apartment, his father was knocking on the door like crazy, and then confronted Lee about signing away his shares to Gabby and Stefan. And then they have this all like kind of back and forth argument, and then Lee mentions that he finally opened up about what his father Wei did with his girlfriend years ago, and he was like angrily confronts him about it, and then I guess Wei tells Lee stuff like he's pathetic and all that stuff, and then I guess Lee probably says something like I hate you and you're the you're the worst, and then probably Wei takes a swing at Lee, and then he like hits the table, and then he sees the knife, he grabs the knife, and then he goes and like attacks Wei with it, and and then like they both really struggle, and then and somehow like Lee ends up getting stabbed by Wei, and then Wei is all in shocked, and so he like for at first he gets his phone out, and then well Lee's phone actually, and he texts Gabby to come over there about the shares, and then Wei leaves the apartment. He leaves it open and unlocked, and he tells Lee while he's lying there, says, "If you can hear me, son, whatever happened here today is all Gabby Demira's fault." And so he leaves the apartment, and then Lee's just there with the knife on his back.
Hmm. Okay. I can I can see that. Another thing I could sit there and see if we're gonna sit there and throw out theories is
Yeah,
maybe he teamed up with Roth.
that is,
Maybe he
that,
teamed up because he's always bringing people back to back to life. So maybe he teamed up with Roth.
yeah, that is possible. It's possible that they made a deal, and then he had Dr. Rolf stab him, and knowing that later on he can just bring him back.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see that. I can see that.
yeah.
But okay, if because I'm pretty sure you watched all four of the soaps today, right?
Yes, I have.
So which one was the best one today?
Days of Our Lives. That's
Of
hands down.
course, yeah. I just I always sit there when I do this stuff. I'm like, listen, I like GH. I've been watching it since high school. I'm more harsher on GH because I've seen what it can do. You know?
Exactly. When I first started watching GH, it was like right after they canceled One Life to Live, because I really got into that show, and I enjoyed all the stuff they did on it. And so as the some of the characters from One Life to Live moved on to GH, it felt like some kind of continuation for me. So then I started learning more about all the characters on GH and all that, and they had some really awesome stories there, like like the pathogen, and
Yes.
exactly, and also when Helena Cassadine first came back, when Lulu was kidnapped by Stavros, and that was when Julie Marie Berman was playing her, and then she left, and then Emmy Riley came in. So the whole Stavros and freezing up Lulu, the whole story beyond that, we saw Nicholas get shot in the process, and basically Luke and Laura in action. That was some of the best stuff they had back in the day.
Yeah. So I mean, you've been watching GH for a while,
Yeah,
and you see how it was back then to
exactly.
how it is now. So, what do you think that they can do to make GH better again?
Well, for starters, bring back Jason. I don't care. I don't care if it's Steve or somebody else. Just bring him back, and also like have more like suspensive villains in it. You know, someone who could really pose a threat to not just not just a certain character, but the entire city of Port Charles.
So, like another Jerry Jacks or somebody like that, or even the
Yeah,
Cyrus, because Cyrus was everyone's problem. He wasn't just
exactly.
Sonny's. problem. He was everyone's problem.
exactly, and that's what made Cyrus worked. He had he had us with like he had ties to a lot of people, Jordan and Taggart, yeah, who we haven't seen in a while for right now. But
Yeah. Have a good night, Kyrie. Thank you for joining. Um, yeah, no, I would definitely agree. So what was the second best soap today then?
I'm gonna have to say why not today, because the whole Newman meeting was pretty interesting, and of course at the end, Victor fired Nate.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I thought that he fired Victoria because
Yeah,
the way they pointed to Victoria was like I thought he fired Victoria, and
that's
I
what I
got it
thought at
because
first, and I
yeah.
was and I was really interested to see what everybody was going to think about that. But then I had to rewind to make sure I heard right, and it was actually Nate because the way he was talking about how he was slightly impressed with whatever he recently did, but at the end he had to go. Or at least that's what Victor thought.
Now, last question was the thing to ask you. You watch all four. Name one character from each soap opera that's your favorite.
All right. Uh, uh, General Hospital, Sunny. Uh, Days of Our Lives. Uh, Forgive me, but this guy's been my favorite character since I started watching. Ray Fernandez.
Okay.
Yeah, I know he's not doing much now, but if you watch back in the day, he did a lot more.
Okay.
All right, YNR Adam, and I'm not really sure who my favorite is on B&B right now. You know, um, I I have certain characters that I like, certain characters that I don't like, but I was never really sure who had a like an exact favorite so far. So I don't really I guess I don't really have a particular favorite on BNB, but I'll like certain people here and there. So I know it's kind of like a switch for me, when it comes to
I
that
get
show.
it. I
Yeah,
get it because when I was looking at somebody asked me that question, I was like, I was thinking on YNR, and I was like, well, I like Victor, even though he acted like a dick today. But I don't have a general favorite. I say Victor because even I was watching just the ABC soaps, I knew who Victor was. Like
yeah,
I never watched the show, but I knew who Victor was. So he
yeah,
always stood out for better or worse, you
yeah,
know?
exactly. But there is one character that I like on BNB who isn't on the show anymore right now. Um, Rick Forrester, I thought was a pretty interesting character.
Okay, when was he on?
He's been on the last time he was on was like I think since like 2015 or 16. So he's been on the show for years and he's been played by multiple actors. Like like the original Rick is the same guy who played JR on All My Children.
Hmm.
Yeah, Jacob Young.
Oh, okay. I know who that guy is.
Yeah, and he also
Which is the
played
Jacob Young? Yes.
he also played Lucky on GH at one point.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that. I started watching it during that time. Um, that's that's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, okay, just on G's, do you think that like Lucky should come back, or would you just not really have him come back?
I would think it's about time for Lucky to come back. I mean, it's been like it's been over 5 years since we last saw him, and if and since we don't have Luke, why not have Lucky? At least he's because he's literally Luke Spencer Jr.
Yeah, and he also won't be a deadbeat dad anymore, so that'd be cool as well.
Yeah.
Just
So
saying.
yeah. So I would like to see Lucky back on GH at some point. Even if they get a different actor again this time around.
I think they've done actually pretty good with the Luckies that they had. Like Greg Vaughn was a good Lucky. You
Yeah,
had Jonathan Jackson, you had Jacob Young, so they've had some good people
yeah,
to play the lucky character.
exactly. So I don't think it would be a problem to see somebody else try to take up the mantle.
Yeah, yeah, they well, I mean, they've done good casting in the past, but then you guys have to remember how many
Molly's.
yeah, how many Mollies did they actually come through before they actually got it somewhat right? And to be fair, we haven't actually seen her act that much, so she's doing better than the rest. But we gotta sit there and see how they. I know, and it's funny too because always like they never had a bad lucky. They're lucky they never actually had a bad lucky. Yes, I
Yeah,
get
that
it.
is true. And even remember the time Sam was recasted at one point?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, Lindsay Hartley, who's been on Days and Passions. She was actually pretty good. Did a pretty good job as Sam.
yeah, yeah. I don't know what I don't know. It's so weird because I'm sitting there thinking all the good recasts they done, and I'm just like, how did they mess up that bad?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well, I guess they can't always get them right, so I
yeah,
can give them a bit of grace for that.
yeah,
You know me with grace, I'm very rare with it, but I give them grace for that.
yeah. So, what is your prediction for whatever EJ's gonna do next? Like particularly with Gabby.
I mean, well, one, I feel like it's weird because it's like, okay, so now he has a job. It's like, okay, so he can get back the shares, but it's like, so what's he going to do? He's going to be the DA, and he's going to be sitting there running the mirror. Like, I don't
Yeah,
feel like I don't. I mean, I guess he could take the shares, but
I
I
mean,
don't know. Like, what do you think that he'll do?
or maybe he could get, or maybe he could. I, I I don't really know. Like, I don't really know if he's gonna actually do both jobs, but he could potentially try to get the shares and hold on to them, and maybe he'll I don't know give Kristen back her shares, you know. And oh yeah, and that's what I'm really looking forward to, Kristen. Like, I want to know what her take will be when she hears about Gabby.
Yes, 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 yes. Listen, I love my girl Kristen. Um, it's funny too because I was, back in the day at one point I was watching with my ex girlfriend, and Kristen just stood out. I was like, yo, I like this chick.
Yeah,
But it's different though. Like it's before EJ took the job, I can see him trying to do something as far as getting back the shares.
yeah,
But Area has a job. So
yeah,
it's like he can't really compromise himself. So I don't know what they're going to do. I feel like it's kind of good because now they're going to keep me guessing. I have
yeah.
no idea where they're going to go with that.
Well, let's put it this way: like anyone who screws with him, who gets arrested, they're not going to get off scotch free, and they're going to feel EJ's wrath. So
um, yeah, and it's hmm. Um, I was going to sit there and see. This is what happens when I start drinking. I totally forgot I was actually going to sit there and say, oh, nope, I don't remember it.
uh, all right, well, I will say this: I know Rave's not going to be happy that EJ's the new DA.
Yes. Oh, that's what it was. Paulina. So like Paulina fires Melinda, but
Yeah,
you hire the town's devil at this point. Like, really? I
exactly.
just I don't get that. But I'm
I
like,
mean,
okay.
if Abe still had his memory, he would not. It would not sit well with him because he knows EJ. He knows he knows Stefano for a long time. He blamed Stefano for his wife's death because his wife Lexi, who was Theo's mom, she was EJ's sister and Stefano's daughter.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing is like, Paulina, she acted off of emotion. She didn't act off of logic. And I'm
yeah,
like, I mean, here's the thing. I'm not a fan of her firing, Melinda. I'm
yeah,
like, you could have literally got anybody else other than EJ. And I like EJ, but I'm like, yo, you wilding, girl. Like, yo,
exactly.
you seriously wilding at that point.
Yeah, because here's the thing: if Paulina fired Melinda because she got so many of the cases wrong, and if that was the only
Yes.
reason, that would be a good reason. But but
Yeah.
but uh, but her reason clearly wasn't for that. I mean, so yeah, it was a reckless move. I mean, for her reasoning, basically.
Now you're sitting there saying that Harrison is going to wind up dying, and you're predicting that he comes back on the show. But my whole thing is like he comes back on General Hospital. What are you going to do with Dax?
That would be interesting. I mean, a lot of people have been theorizing that Dex could be Jason's son, and if that's the case, that would be interesting. I could see him, Dex being Jason's son with Courtney, and that would make him Sonny's nephew and Spencer's half brother. Imagine, just imagine how Spencer would process that.
Oof. Now, what do you think of the character of Dex? What do you think of the character of Dex?
Dex is a pretty interesting character so far. I mean, I wouldn't exactly consider him the next Jason, but for what he's doing right now, the material they're giving him, aside from the hooking up with Joss, I think he's been doing pretty well so far.
Yeah, I just, my whole thing is like, I wish they actually give him more to do, like something outside of Jocelyn, something maybe not always mob related, because they had Jason. Unfortunately, I have to kind of compare him to Jason. They had Jason do other stuff. He interacted with the other characters,
Yeah,
and I wish they would do something along the lines with Dex. And I don't think that Dex is a bad character, and I don't hate on Dex regardless of what Jess says. I just wish they would give him more to do, you
yeah.
know?
But if you think about it, if Jason is revealed to be Dex's father and Courtney is his mother, then he would definitely have more to do. Like you can probably see him at the gym with Jason or something like that, and try to see if and try to build a relationship with Spencer and probably Ace for that matter, because that would make him him Ace's uncle, half uncle.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. It's really crazy. Just kind of popping back over to days.
yeah,
The one thing that's so wild to me is just how they're so connected. You
yeah,
know, like
exactly.
especially the funeral scene where like I guess Alex was trying to hook up with uh, not Teresa, but it was another woman that was there now. You remember the other
Chelsea.
one? Yeah, he was like, "Oh, are we cousins? Are we not cousins?" I'm just like, yeah, this is
They
so
are, yeah, they are cousins actually.
yeah, but you understand how like the family tree is so tangled up. It's like they don't know if they're dating their cousins or not. Like that's weird. I love the show, but that's weird though.
Here's the interesting thing about Alex. He's also Sierra's cousin. He's
Oh wow.
yep. He played her husband, and now he's playing her cousin.
Yeah, that's not. Oof. Okay, I don't even want to think about that later on. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
You've been a soap fan for a hot minute.
yeah.
How do you feel about watching soaps for that long now?
You
Like
know,
it's this weird genre, right? Because like I always used to say, you practically grow with these characters.
exactly, and it's a funny thing because soap operas is something that I never actually thought I would get into. Like, it only happened like one day when I tuned into an episode of Days of Our Lives, and then I just had to see what was happening the next day and the next day, and then eventually I started tuning into the other soap operas, and then I really like, yeah, I really got like hooked on it, and now I kept watching them to all the way to this day, which is also like when I found out that they were canceling All My Children and One Life to Live, I was really sad about that. And also mad about what they were replacing them with
With the
late.
Chew and the other crap show, yes, I remember that.
Yeah, and those shows didn't barely lasted. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually got to meet Susan Lucci. She's actually pretty nice in real life, though.
Oh, that is so cool. Yeah. And the interesting part about that is after All My Children and One Life to Live got canceled, people thought GH would be the next to get canceled. But it didn't. It outlasted everything that replaced All My Children and One Life to Live.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you had the Bob Guza days back in the day, though, so that definitely did kind of help it out. I'm not gonna lie, it really did.
Yeah. And especially considering the fact that One Life to Live kind of like transitioned onto GH, so in a way they kind of lived on. And,
Yeah, but at one point they were on. What was that? I know they were on Hulu, but they did the whole internet thing or whatever. They pretty much did what Days of Our Lives did, except for they didn't work.
yeah, exactly.
So
Because
why do you think that they weren't successful, but Days of Our Lives were?
well, I can tell you this. Well, as you can see, Days of Our Lives right now, it's basically the same as it was when it was on NBC. It's still an hour long. You have to stay. It picked up from where it left off. It still
Prospect
has,
Park.
yeah, it still has the same sets, the same budget, and everything, and they're still doing the same thing they've been doing for years. But when One Life to Live and All My Children got resurrected on Hulu, things were kind of different, and was kind of lower, and they were on only 4 times a week, and then like midway they changed it to only 2 times a week. And if you watch both shows at that time, you can see that that they at some parts they used the same set, like the same like one of the same outside. Well, it wasn't actually an outside. They weren't actually outside, but like there's like a town square kind of thing that they use for both shows. And what I noticed from One Life to Live is they didn't like really have as much much suspense as the original show did in regards to storyline. And I noticed they like mostly used that nightclub set for like a lot, like even when like yeah, even when like Vicky and like was having dinner and with Dorian, it was still that nightclub set. And
Oh,
yeah, and there was like a mystery that never got solved. Like Victor came back, Victor Lord Jr., the Trevor St. John's character, Todd's twin brother. He
yes.
came. It was like at the beginning that part was probably one of the most interesting parts of that show. And there and like there was like a certain tattoo that a lot of the people like that people had, like it was like a cross tattoo, and it was connected to the people that were holding him captive. And so we saw a lot of people with that tattoo. Even the character Corbin Blue was playing had a tattoo, and it was on his foot. That was like shocking. And
Hmm.
then it was like till the end of the season. Well, we saw the person who was behind it. And apparently it was he mentioned that Todd was about to meet up with Victor, and he was going to get held captive to as well. And the very last scene of One Life to Live, we saw Clint at the hospital because he had a meltdown at a ceremony. And then we saw Natalie finds Allison Perkins holding a syringe next to Clint, and she's screams and shocked. And that's pretty much how the whole show ended. And it really sucks because like after that, both One Life to Live and All My Children were canceled again because Prospect, the company that was behind the reboots, Prospect Part, they filed a lawsuit against ABC for killing off two
Yeah.
characters from One Life to Live.
Mm-hmm.
And and I think the reason they did that is because so for some reason they made this new silly rule that no dead character can come back for their versions of the show. And
What?
they didn't need to do that. They could have just like removed that rule and like have the characters come back. But it was the whole lawsuit doing that whole lawsuit that ruined the whole reboots. Like they could have just left it alone and just continue on. But they decided to pursue it, and as a result, both the reboots got canceled, and they ended up losing the lawsuit anyway because now ABC has the rights to the shows again.
Yeah, that's crazy. Have a good night, Gemini. Thank you for joining. You know, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
now one of the other questions I want to sit there and ask you before we kind of wrap this up.
uh-huh.
Do you think because you were watching soap for a while, so you knew about SoapNet. Do you honestly think that maybe SoapNet can ever come back?
Maybe it could come back, probably as like maybe a streaming channel or some sorts. I don't know if you know about Pluto TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a soap channel of their own. I mean, it's basically only reruns of Y and R and B, but they have one. But if they did something like that, like put it on one of the like streaming services or something like that, if they had like a streaming channel of SoapNet, and then air like today's GH and all the older version of One Life to Live and All My Children of all that, but something like that could work. Or it wouldn't even have to be like exclusively for ABC soaps. Like they could have probably somebody else could probably do something for all for the soaps for all the networks or something like that. Like show all four shows from all the networks, and then have some reruns of older soaps, and maybe some primetime soaps as well. I remember like when SoapNet aired like One Tree Hill and stuff like
Yes.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to watch that daily when they gave it.
Yep.
So
Yep. And it's funny too because actually I started watching One Tree Hill because they put it on SoapNet.
yeah, yeah. So
Oh, the good old days.
yeah,
Of the
it was also
was it CW or was it WB at the time?
I think when SoapNet started airing the show, it was already CW.
Okay.
Yeah, the better days of the CW.
Oh man, and now we got whatever it is that they got now. Last
Yep,
season of Superman Lois, and
I know.
last time I actually will be watching the CW. So
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll still watch it. I mean, if Walker still sticks around, I mean, I haven't really gotten real into that show as well, but I watched a few episodes. I mean, it's not as good as I would want it to be. I mean, it's okay, but probably not what I expected from it. But still, if that's still on, I'll probably check it out. But other than that, with Superman Lois gone, there's not really much for me on the CW to watch.
you gotta sit there and remember, like when it comes to Superman Lois, the fact that they made it on four, like, because you knew when Nexstar came and decided to cancel everything else. I
Exactly.
was out there. I was like, yeah, so that show's next, right? Like Superman Lois is going to get canceled because
Yeah.
it's the most expensive show
Yeah.
that they have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But yeah, but I am. But at least it won't end in a cliffhanger. At least we'll get a proper send off.
yeah, and honestly, tell you the truth, when you stop and think about it, it's like sometimes with networks like that, that's the best that you could sit there and get because they can just always like Legend tomorrow, just cancel
Yep.
that shit.
Yep.
You get
They
no
canceled.
ending.
Yep. We just had Booster Gold appear.
Yeah, or yeah, I'm not even gonna get on that one. Or
Yeah.
Batwoman, which was
Yeah.
actually getting better. I'll sit there and say it was actually getting better. So,
Yeah.
well, listen, I do want to thank you for joining, though, Jonathan. It's always a great time to actually have a good conversation with you. So,
Oh, absolutely.
thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. I always have fun here.
I will definitely. I look forward to next time that you come back on. Then.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right. Take care.
Yep. What is going on in the convo? What is going on in the chat? We talking about? Okay. We talking about Dallas? Delia says one of the storylines was that David was obsessed with revenge against GR and the okay. We're talking about all my children. Okay. Yeah, Prospect Park. Is yes. Thank you, Jonathan, for coming through. Jonathan is always amazing to sit there and talk to. Like literally, I could sit there and talk to that guy for a very long time. Jonathan's my guy. So thank you for coming through. Delia says now we talking about Prospect Park rebooting All My Children. Yeah, here's the thing. This is something else I forgot to sit there and talk to Jonathan about. When they put back on those shows, like All My Children and Will Like to Live, I also heard it was a little bit more spicier. Like they were dropping. I don't know if they were dropping an f bomb, but they were actually cursing in that show, and some people was not a fan of that. I also heard that the loving scenes was a lot more spicier. They kind of changed it a little bit around, and I remember when Days, um, the actress that plays Marlena, she was basically saying that we're going to keep it the same. Okay, we're not going to sit there and start spicing things up and throwing f bombs here and there and stuff. Joey says, yeah, they were cursing. Yeah, yep, yep. And I guess it changed it a little bit for some people. They weren't used to people just dropping curse words. Freddie says, I will say Jake did a good job following Anna's instructions of getting. Yeah, no, he did. All right, Nicole. Double C said, yeah, they were cursing and sex blank C's were hot, but you know how the old WWR. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I remember I saw like a preview of some of their scenes, and I was like, um, is this like HBO After Dark? Like, I mean, it was a lot more spicier, and just has question marks. What are the question marks? Let's when like live was cursing. No wonder why it didn't go as well on the web. Yeah, people aren't used to that. People are definitely they weren't with it. I actually tell you too. Days of Our Lives. I forgot the spin off of that. Happy night, Nicole. I forgot the spin off of that. I can't remember what the spin off of that was, but they was using curse words. I remember Sierra actually said a curse word, and I was like, what? Just on a side note, what was Days of Our Lives spin-off show? I can't remember what it is now for some odd reason. Billy says some of the characters were just weird. It only sounded natural coming from Todd. Beyond Salem, that's what it was called. It was called Beyond Salem. Lori says, I'm going to follow. Take care, everyone. Yes, you have a great night, Lori. Thank you for joining. Double C says, Lonnie was on All My Children reboot as Kat. Cassandra, most of her scenes was about her being kidnapped and attacked. Hmm. Johnson says, remember on the first episode when like the live reboot where Blair saw Ty, she said she told him what? Oh wait, Jonathan, are you serious? He actually dropped the F bomb? Oh, no, Jonathan. Let me know if you're being serious. That they actually dropped the F bomb. Because I'm not gonna lie, that will definitely alarm some of the older people. Oh, okay, you. Oh wow. Oh, they went there, Jonathan. Okay, yeah, they were really trying to go for shock value. Yeah, a lot of the older generation doesn't really like you know curses and stuff. But he says when Jake took off his white coat to stop the bleeding of Charlotte getting shot, he was definitely Jason Morgan. I remember in one of my earlier days when I was doing reviews, I dropped the F bomb, and one of the people that was watching, it was like, I don't like cursing in my reviews. And I was like, granted, I could have sat there and, well, I could have said something that could have went left, but I was like, you know what? I don't need to sit there if it's going to bother people. I don't need to sit there and just be dropping F bombs at the F bomb. And hell, technically now, doesn't always work in my favor as far as it being monetized or not. So, at least I remember Todd telling Tia she was a what? Yo, oh, they were wildin'. Yo, Dolly, they were wildin'. Listen, Michael reboot would have been a success if they didn't curse a lot. Listen, I curse, but not a lot, but it's not a good look to do all that. Yeah, here's it exactly, Alyssa. I'll sit there and say this much. I don't feel the need to sit there and constantly throw down a F bomb to get my point across. If I can't have a conversation without constantly using curse words, then yeah. There'll be a Legend of Zelda live action movie in the works. Hmm. Live action, not like the Mario movie, like live actual, like real flesh people. Johnson says midway through the runs of When Like Living on My Children reboot, people requested for the Linker's curse words to be removed, and then they censored them out. Yeah, uh, just says I curse all the time. Weird. When I saw you didn't curse a lot. Was you being on your best behavior that night, Jess? Because I don't remember you dropping a single f bomb. Yeah, she didn't give me the impression that she was cursing. Listen, it's like you're at a job. You can't be cursing at your job because it's unprofessional. Yeah, I don't. I'm not sure, Dave. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe Jess was actually being a good girl that night. Jess says I don't remember. Oh no, I remember. For a person who you say your memory is shit. I remember. Listen, I heard that the girl who used to work at my job got fired because she was cursing a lot. Wow. Hmm. Right Quick says I can admit my attitude isn't the best all the time. Just says I'm not a good girl. You know what? I don't even want to sit there and comment on that. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. Mel says I know a lot of YouTubers cursing in the reviews of movies and other stuff. Oh, I know them too. And I always sit there and say good luck. Like I said, I ain't saying anything. Nope. Well, Spider Quick, I didn't say it, so it doesn't count. Johnson says, despite the fact that Blank Live was on Hulu at the time, they made a lot of references to GH. Really? Well, I guess they probably thought they were still under the GH umbrella. Have a good night, CW. It was really great to see you again. Freddie says that Kevin knew Charlotte was being vulgar, vague of answering his question. Well, he did. He said that she was being evasive. But he didn't think it was he probably didn't think it was that serious because most kids that go in there, they don't tell everything. They don't spill their guts the first time that they go in a therapy session. So it makes sense. Listen, the only time I curse a lot is when I'm joking with my peeps and when I'm angry. Yeah, well, that makes sense. Yeah, like I said, I know some people that curse a lot. I'm not one of them. I used to curse a lot more than I do now. Um, I think it does have a lot to do with the fact that I do YouTube. Billy says they did have to reference that Big Baby Switch storyline with Sam and Tia. Yeah, they couldn't go around that one. Johnson says a lot of stories to some of the characters are like live connected to the events that happened during their time on GH. Yeah, yeah, exactly. They couldn't really um skirt around that. Mike Quick says if I curse, I gotta be super mad. Oh, I don't. Or I didn't. Or if I'm on Twitter talking about a character I don't like. But you know it's really funny, Alyssa, you can't do that on Instagram. Like you really can't. You can't curse on Instagram like you could on Twitter. Okay, well there's other things that you can do on Twitter, but cursing again you can't do on Instagram. Like it's okay. I go on there for my what you call it. Just as I curse like every day. Jess, you don't seem like it. You don't seem like the cursing type. You really don't, Jess. Maybe you're hot. Maybe you're hiding it that night. Well, Spider Quake, I'm glad you stopped because you're way too young. Becky D says sometimes if one curse too much, people don't take you. Yeah, yeah. If one curse too much, they don't take you seriously. Yeah, I think it's just like I said for me, Becky D, because I do this. I don't curse as much, even when I'm not on here, because I know it's going to translate to here. So in some ways, I kind of had to sit there and train myself to not drop so many curse words. I still do, but it's not as often. Joey says, "I bet if someone crosses Jess, they're catching cursing out. Just that there's no cursing. There is no cursing type. I don't know what that means." And yeah, no, I agree. I do agree with that. Dolly Johnson says and John McBain wasn't there, but Clint Buchanan knew that he cheated on Natalie. Oh, on Natalie with Sam. Yeah, I remember he didn't Natalie like skip town? She went somewhere because she found out what John did. Double C says fun fact: Snoop Dogg did the opening for like Live reboot. Really? Like Chris says fourth grade to eighth grade cursing grade. My cursing was pretty bad. Damn. Just says you just said I don't look like the cursing type. Yes. I don't know. You know what it's just when I saw you that one time you didn't give off those vibes. You didn't give off those vibes that you be dropping F bombs and stuff like that. You didn't give those vibes. Hmm. So yeah, that's why I said you didn't seem like the cursing type. You weren't giving off those vibes. Freddie says I curse sometimes, but usually when I do curse is when if someone talks to me like I'm crazy and disrespect me. One thing about me, I don't take it's from nobody. Unlike Nina, cream puff self to Michael. Freddie says Nina's a grown ass woman and she can't defend herself to little boy Michael. So like Craig says, I get where Albert's coming from. It's just I had to sit there and move a little bit differently. That's all. Just that that's why I'm saying there's no cursing type. I don't know. I feel a little bit different about that, Jess. Mel says, have you heard that saying that people curse? Yes, I have. Jakar is the one and the one and only. I was about to sit there and say the one and F and only. The one and only. Johnson says it turned out Clint lied about Natalie leaving to keep John. Oh, yeah, because he said that. Well, they said that she went to Europe or something like that. I've been good. How have you been, Jakaris? Nina needs to grow some. Well, we can't sit there and say nuts. So, listen, I think the custody battle is going to end too because I want Xan and Sarah together. They will squash everything to focus on raising. Hmm. Jakara says, I've been focusing on real life stuff. You also been on Twitter Space as well. Um, I couldn't stay too long, but I saw you on Twitter Space a couple of times. I was like, oh man, that's my dude Jakaris. I'm still just I don't know. Like even to this day, I'm still just like, yo, Jakara's got a chance to talk to Karsten Boatman. Like how I still can't get on that. I still can't get over that. Yes, I've been on Twitter Space a lot. Yeah, I know. I saw you. Well, I heard you. I heard you on there. I talk about social on there too. Yeah, I know. Twitter Space is your thing. It's also Candace Mac thing. Have a good night, Dave. Thank you for joining. It's also Candace Mac thing as well. Johnson says the thing about the One Life to Live reboot was that a lot of elements were missing, and most of those missing elements were on GH. It didn't sound like this reboot was well from the start, and it seemed like it was more than just about the cursing and spiciness stuff. Like it seemed like it just did not have. Like says, Albert, why don't you get people on? You mean like soap stars and stuff like that? Meanwhile, I don't get like soap stars and stuff like that on here. I just want to make sure I answer your question correctly, Spiderquake. I mean, if we're talking about soap stars and stuff like that, I don't know. I feel like if my stuff is good enough, people will come to my channel. You know, it shouldn't be where it's like I have to reach out to them or message them like, "Hey, you want to come on the channel? Hey, you want to come on the channel?" It's like it just be a weird feeling. It feel like I'm like begging people to come on my channel. You know. Johnson says "When Like Live" would have been better off if it was revived on ABC. And yeah, I agree with that. That's pretty sad. Billy says "The One Like Live" opening credit. More Like the reboot also had the worst opening credits in the history of shows. Even worse than like now. Just says he gonna freeze again like he did with Evan Spiderquake. That's why. Oh, you're so cute, Jess. And I'm gonna leave it at that, Jess. I'm gonna just first of all, Jess, you're exaggerating, which is hilarious. And then there's other things that I'm just gonna withhold from saying. So, and you're welcome for that. Freddie says, "I would laugh in Michael's face, boy. You just a pest. Shoo shoo, go away." But yeah, I just like I said, I'm not the. I need you to come on the show. Please come on the show. Please come. I'm not. I want my stuff to stand out where people will just come on there, or even come in a chat, and then we'll just talk from there. You know. Just as LOL, what things? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Mrs. Jack Abbott. Don't worry about it. That's for me to know and to keep you guessing. And trust me, you want to keep guessing. I mean, don't get me wrong. It'd be cool if that happens. It'd be cool if that happens. Johnson says I can't get the last scene of Days with he. It was a good scene. You know what? Honestly, tell you the truth, Jonathan, it was so good. I'm gonna actually watch it before I go to bed. Freddie says I'm so excited for December 1st to see the Beyonce Renaissance film coming to theaters. Oh, okay. Hey, Freddie, remember when there was four people in Destiny Child? Remember they actually have four people in there? I know it's crazy to think about, but they actually have four people in it. And just says Nathaniel. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I don't know if you saw Jess. He was actually on James Live Jr. JLJ Media. He did an interview with him. Okay, you do. Okay, yeah. It's crazy. I think about that from time to time. I was like, yeah, there was actually four people. Yep, Freddie was originally four. But yeah, I put the link towards the interview in my community tab. No, that's cool though. That's cool. It actually tells you I watched actually the whole interview. So if y'all didn't check it out, it was actually pretty. He talked about one. I think he talked about one of his jobs where he was a safe cracker. Like he cracked the safes, and I'm just like, why are you getting a job about safe cracking? I'm gonna if he comes back in the chat, I'm gonna sit there and ask him about that part. He also, I know who is the person that's going to get bad vibes about Constantine this week. Okay, yeah, yeah. When he was during the interview JLJ, he talked about safe cracking. I gotta go back more specific. I think that was a job that he did. He kept bugging them or whatever, and they finally like put him on the job and they taught him how to like crack safes. And I'm just like, bro. I gotta ask him about that. Who says so EJ is going to find out about Sloan keeping the baby. Freddie says Anna needs a new man. Drop Valentine. Yeah, that should have happened a while ago. I'm gonna be honest. That should have really happened a while ago. Plus, I think Constantine will have something to do with Harrison getting killed. That would be that is kind of weird though, because the character's been on the show for a while. Like actually, to tell you the truth, Steve was actually on Days of Our Lives before he was on General Hospital. Have a good night, Andrea. Johnson says my guess is if Anna leaves Valentine, she'll lean towards Robert. Oh yeah, she'll lean towards Robert, and then it'll be a love triangle between Robert, Anna, and Diane, which really should not be a competition. There should there is no competition between Diane and Anna. Let's just be real. Let's let's just be real about that one. Oh, yeah, the one that's bossing around Ava, right, Alyssa? Justice says if Harrison gets killed, it would most likely be from one of Clyde's guys. Hmm, that makes sense. Have a good night, Dolly. It was great. It was great talking. It was great to see you in the chat. Let's say yeah, that guy. Gil, yes. Thank you. You know, Jonathan, did I actually call him Raj? I know he's not Raj, but I feel like every time he comes on, I want to call him Raj. Like I really do. I really just want to just randomly call him Raj. Hmm. All right. I think I'm gonna sit there and end the live stream right here. Because it's been a very, very, very long day since 5 o'clock in the morning. So I think I'm gonna sit there and call it a wrap right here. A Rizap, as Jess likes when I say. Let's say his name is Gil. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yes, have a good night, Ambassador Sam. Thank you, the GOAT, the effing GOAT, Ambassador Sam. Listen, I was getting Gil was mixed up with Constantine. I get Gil mixed up with Rudd. So Johnson says today on days we saw Jason Morgan and Johnny Sakara face off. See, Jonathan, this is why I rock with you. This is exactly why I rock. Exactly, exactly, Alyssa. That's my guy right there. That Ava is running. Oh, Be interesting. But yes, on that note, yes, it's going to be a Riz app as Jess loves when I say. So yes, have a good night, everyone. Have a good night, Melly Mel, my horror queen. Have a good night, Becky D. Have a good night, Alyssa. Have a good night, Cherry Ice Cream. Have a good night, Freddie. Have a good night, Mrs. Jack Abbott. Join us next time for another edition of Soap Chat with Abbasid. Yes, you have a great night, Jonathan. It was really great to talk to you, as always. But yes, have a good night, Jess. Have a good night, Becky D. Thank you, everyone, for the chat. Good company. Y'all have a great rest of your night. You as well, Becky D. It's actually really good to see you in the chat. It's really, really good to see you in the chat. So I always appreciate when you come through. Alyssa Stephanie is going to join Ava. Yeah, Mel usually always gets all the good scoops. So yes, no, it was really great. So I definitely look forward to doing it again. Freddie says this was fun. I'm glad I came back. Well, I'm glad to actually have you. Seriously, it's always good to talk to you, Freddie. Mel says it's not going to be long with O'Brien as Teresa's storyline is going to end because her and Constantine will get exposed on Xander being Victor's son, not Alex. Oh, well, that's good. I can't take any more of these scenes with Teresa and the actress. I can't do it. Can't do it. Just nope. Mm-mm. Yes, again, um, give a shout out to Jonathan for coming through. Have a nice Spiderquake. Have a night, Blackmon. Yes, Gwen Teresa. Gwen Teresa. Yes, Jonathan. I don't know if that was a nickname. I actually forgot. Yes, no, you did amazing, Jonathan. You always do good whenever you come through. So I appreciate you. Yes, have a good night, Blackmon. Have a nice Spiderquake. Becky D. I feel like I'm missing so many people. Yes, Gwen. Yes, Alyssa, Gwen Teresa, yes. Have a good night, Alyssa. Thank you for joining. It's always a pleasure to see you in the chat. Have a good night, Nicole. Um, yes, have a good night, everyone. Stay safe. If you are not a member, definitely join. As my friend Ambassador Sam always says now, hashtag 200 members. So I will see you on the next one. Have a great night all. Laters.